on Noblesville.
Let's do it. Let's jump in here. And we kind of glossed over these just before we jumped into our recording session here. And look, if you're watching any of these, you know I love the the Noblesville markets. I like the entry point. I like the amazing school systems. I like the growth. I like the possibility of appreciation on your investment. I think you have a lot of opportunity to see your ROI increase from many different angles in this market. But let me just dive into the numbers here, and then we'll continue on with that conversation. Median rental price over time. What investor doesn't want to see their December rents go up at the end of the year? Seasonality apparently isn't a thing in Noblesville. I don't know, but you do see them creep up a little bit. It's a little hard to explain, but you do see that come down in our sneak peek in January, right? I mean, we're going to see that tick down a little bit. But if you're an investor, this is exactly what you're wanting to see. And not only are they ticking up, you're seeing an average days on market at 45, which, is higher than I would want. The previous market report for November of 2023 indicated 27 rather, average days on the market. So we're up 66%, but 45, I'm still not crazy alarmed, right? I mean, there's seasonality that's going to play into that. It's higher than I want, so I'm going to get ahead of it because I have the market data. I'm going to get ahead of your average investor, and I'm going to bring my rents down a little bit quicker than those who aren't informed, and I'm going to reduce my average days on the market. But nonetheless, just with the data here, I'm not alarmed, and I'm liking what I'm seeing. We'll jump over here to active homes in the market, 113. So we're lower in active homes, which also helps me kind of explain, right? Lower supply. So we are going to see our rents tick up a little bit. So it's not a dramatic amount. So I don't know if it's directly related to that or not, but 113 active homes, where the prior month we had 131 active homes in the market. Now, average rents, we just tackled that in the previous graph. We are static from November 2023, but we're going to see this tick down a little bit. Not really a small amount, right? I mean, our sneak peek is indicating somewhere around 1840 is what we're going to see as average rents next month. But let's not talk about January. We're here to talk about December. Now, over to average sales prices, 327. Now, this is down considerably from what we were seeing in November's market report. Our average sales price was at 353, so we're down 25 grand, down 7%. That is, without a doubt, seasonality is going to play into that. Honestly, I don't know, Mike. What do you think there? I mean, I always want to relate to seasonality, right? That's going to be a direct market factor. And then in addition to that, you're going to see interest rates, which are a direct market factor. Do you think
that was
seasonality?
I was going to say interest rates. And I think, Noblesville has typically had a higher rate of investors than some of these other markets. And so maybe a little more price sensitive to those interest rates. Interest rate increases. So that would be one thing that I would guess is definitely interest rates affecting investors looking at this and saying, well, maybe it doesn't make sense. But gosh, now that we've dipped down 7%, maybe it's a good time to buy.
That's a good point. That's an excellent point. Yeah, I didn't think about that, but you're right. I mean, interest rates are going to be a factor here. We'll see. I'm very curious as we're getting into the new year. What's 2024 going to bring? I can't wait to find out. Number of homes sold, we're at 61 homes sold, which is very consistent with what we've been seeing here month over month. Last month we were at 67, so down a little bit, without a doubt. If I'm going to smack a title on this, it's going to be seasonality affected. But and before we go into our other market reports, I without a doubt, what we're going to continue to say on a lot of these markets, there's a tremendous amount of new construction going on. Noblesville is definitely one of those. If you're an interested investor, you're new to real estate investment, or maybe you're just new to this market, that's something you want to be in tune with, because I think Noblesville you're going to see, and I'm going to say the same things as we get into the McCordsville market report. That's right, McCordsville. We're going to get to it. But you're going to see all those factoring into your ROI, appreciation, great school systems, a lot of growth, a lot of new construction. So keep that in mind when you're considering this market to invest in.
Yeah, let me, one thing, if I'm an investor here, one thing I'm excited about is this, the median price over time is a little squiggly, but I'm excited about this, just the trend line. You know what I mean? If I just look at from January to December, I mean, that's just up and to the right. I mean, that is exactly what I want to see with my average rents. So that's super, super exciting. And then, of course, with that is this 8% from December of 2022 to December of 2023 is a 8% increase. I mean, gosh, if I get 8% every year, I'm thrilled. That's just in my rent. I'm also getting appreciation, depreciation. So, I mean, those are great numbers. I'm excited for Noblesville. Noblesville's a great market.
Yeah, Mike, and let me just touch on that just before we jump over to the next one, and then I'll shut up on this one. But you're right. These graphs are going to be skewed by these numbers here. They're going to look sometimes a little squigglier than you might have felt if you're in this market, and that's going to be why. So you're going to really want to be in tune to what those numbers are indicating here. And so what we are seeing, here we are in January of 2023, and here's where we are. A sneak peek into next month's market report. I mean, you're looking at what, a $70 increase? I mean, to me, that's probably a little bit higher than I would expect as an investor. But you definitely want to see it in a growing market, a market that you know is growing. That's much more in tune, right? So what I'm trying to get to, this is a stable market. That's what you want to see as an investor.
Sure. And still affordable at $325 roughly for an average sales price. Still super affordable.
Exactly. Absolutely. Yeah.
All right. You want to look at the next slide over time?
Yeah. Let's jump into them.
Take a look.
Active homes over time. So we're just getting in tune with these new graphs that we're starting to report on. But so active homes that were on the rental market. I'm surprised to see December go down. Honestly, I would have thought it would have increased just seasonality. But again, I mean, if you're an investor in the market, you're happy to see that, right? I mean, supply is going to go down, demand should go up. You would hope. So you're seeing a lot of this trending up, and I like what Mike was doing there with the line, so I'm going to keep doing it. But you're seeing those active homes go up a lot, primarily due to new construction in this area, is what I would say, Mike.
Yeah, I agree. This is, I would say, honestly, relatively stable in terms of number of active homes on the market. I mean, we start the year at 99, we ended at 113. That's not much of a differential. So I think, again, just kind of going back to the stability theme, this is a stable market.
Yes, and I'm also going to go ahead and take that, as loud as I tout Noblesville being a great market, that's why we're seeing more activity in this market, right? So everyone's tuned into our channel.
Yeah, we need to see how many views we have. That's what it is. That's right. It correlates to our views.
You're probably exactly right. What a great point. Yes, you're right. We're going to have to start watching that data as well on our own personal
Yeah, we'll have to report that on here.
I love it. I hope that's the case. Everyone's being driven to the Noblesville market because at least I'm convinced it's a great market. And the homes that we currently manage tend to do pretty well in this area. So I'm going to go ahead and jump over to days on the market. Man, that looks like a squiggly line too. That's a dangerous hill to sled down right there in the middle. That's not one you want to send your kids down at all. But average days on the market, April, look, without a doubt, and I'm using that term a lot because I'm so convinced that there were so many owners, and I had to directly, interact with these owners who wanted to achieve these ridiculous rents, right? They're behind the data. They wanted to achieve ridiculous rents, and then we had to convince them slowly to bring them down. I think that's what you're seeing here, and I think Noblesville just caught on a little bit faster than some of these other markets that didn't start to come down until after your summer rates. But this is highly unusual, right? I mean, your days on and then your days on market start to come down as rents begin to stabilize. People are listening to their property managers. They're bringing the rents down. Your days on markets are beginning to trend with it, and they're beginning to stabilize here at the year end.
Yeah, I will say it is unusual, but I will say it is, if you kind of take the extremes out, like this 95-day extreme, this is actually a little more typical of a graph where you're going to see higher vacancy in the winter. And then, look at June, July, and August. I mean, you're 18 days on the market. And that's way more typical. And then it kind of trends back up towards the end of the year. So take out the extremes and you've got a fairly normal-ish graph here for what we typically would.
Yeah, exactly. And I can't wait until we have the data where we can show this year over year and see how those kind of match up. Because if this is what you're seeing in April, do not put your house on the market in February or March because you're gonna see a long time on the market. Just some in-tune information for you.
Exactly.